Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another lazy show where we teach you AutoCAD in a way that it's more productive so you can stop wasting your time. So, as always, we show up here each Sunday at 10 a.m. and with a new way to save you a little bit of time, right? Today, we're going to create an awesome dynamic block that hopefully is going to simplify your life when calculating slope percentages, either if you are in the architecture field, in the engineering, or any field, we all calculate slope percentages. So I'm sure this block is gonna save you so much time. So, but before, let me jump to the chat and see um, what are you guys. Um, how are you today? So we have some comments already on the chat. That's great. For people who are new to these live streams, my name is Irving, and again, I show up here each Sunday. So before we start today's presentation, let me go ahead and read some of your comments. Okay. So, all right. So, Architect Sadiq is on the chat. Hello there. I think you are new to the live streams. That's great. That simply means either YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn is recommending our live stream to more and more folks, right? That's awesome. So you say, I have a question. When I write any text over a hatch or over a wipeout in paper space, then text is not visible to me, but when see preview, then text is visible, but not visible on screen. So that looks like an AutoCAD glitch, but is your text and your hatch the same color? That might be one of the reason also. So if it's not the same color, might be a graphics issue also. Um, So yeah, let me know if that's the case. Says your videos are good and very helpful. Hey, I'm glad that I hear that. That you are finding value out of our tutorials that we do. That's great, right? If you can tell us your real name, Sadiq. Oh, I think Sadiq is your name, right? Yep. All right, Sadiq. So let me start getting ready over here on my second screen so we can start today's presentation. Let's see. Oh, before I forget, I wanna say welcome to. I wanna say welcome to our new Patreon member, Alessandro. Thank you very much, Alessandro, for believing on what we do, right? Again, which is save you a little bit of time, right, when you work in AutoCAD. So, Alessandro, thank you very much. And you just opened, let's see if you can see my screen to share Alessandro. Share screen. Okay. So, Alessandro, so you just open or have access to all of our blogs, right, that we create, including the blog from today's. You also got access to our AutoCAD files, our AutoCAD custom command macros, so you can quickly copy and paste and create your tools. So yeah, Alessandro, thank you very much for your support. For people who don't know, so a Patreon is simply a way to support our work, right? And in exchange of some benefits, or they call it tiers. Um, so yeah, thank you, Alessandro. All right, let's keep moving now with today's show or today's presentation. Let's see, we have Architect says your videos on making attributes are too good. um, yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Sadiq, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. If not, sorry. Sadiq. So maybe you're referring to best practices for creating attribute blocks. That's the video I think that you were referring to. We have many videos about attributes, but that's one that is very popular here on the channel. Um, so Jose is on the chat. Jose says, excellent. Hey, Jose, happy to have you here, my friend. Um, I know you, I think, from commenting in some of our videos. That's great. Or maybe you are a different Jose. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused, but hope you're doing great, Jose. All right, so let me start getting ready over here on my screen. I think you can see my screen now. That's great. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So we're gonna start, and as always, you can stop me at any time with your questions or anything that you have in mind, and I'm gonna be able to read it live. All right. So let's start. So the measurement of slope is a common practice with engineers, architects, and so on. So today we're going to learn how to automate this process of calculating slope percentages using a dynamic block. So the first step is to have any slope number here, and I'm gonna convert these single lines into a block by using the shortcut V, and then I'm gonna name my block, right? So for instance, I can name this lazy slope, but that's a personal preference. So I'm gonna click to open the block in the block editor. That's what I'm gonna check. And then I'm gonna also specify on a screen for the base points. So I'm gonna click OK, and then following the instructions. The base point is very important for this block because that's how we're gonna insert this block, right? So that's very important, and how I want to insert this block is from this endpoint. So that's where I'm gonna click. And now I'm inside the block editor. Here, we're gonna start adding some parameters, some constraints, and all of that good stuff to kind of automate our work, right? That's the final goal that we want to achieve with this dynamic block. So the first thing that I like to do here with these single lines again is to constrain them. Why? Because stretch this, when we stretch this slope, again, we can use slope for anything, right? Maybe calculating architectural ramps, maybe calculating for engineers some cars or trucks slopes and so on. So we want to constrain this, and the way we can do it in an easy way is using the auto constrain command. So that's what we're gonna use. And then following the instructions to select objects, I'm gonna do that, and then of course press enter. All right, so that's one of the first steps that we're doing to constrain these geometries. Next, what we like to do here is adding some linear parameters here. So that's what we're gonna do from the ribbon. And so like so, and then following the instructions again, I'm gonna start specifying my first point, which is this, and then my second point, which is right about here. So once I clicked a third point around here, it will ask me for the name of my linear parameter. In this case, AutoCAD automatically names D1, but that's not what I want, right? I want to make easier this block for the person who uses it. So I'm gonna name this height. And then following the same steps, I'm going to add a second linear parameter from this point all the way to this other point, and I'm going to name this parameter length, right? So now we will need to this slope to stretch from this direction, but in reality we don't need this other stretch icon. So the way I'm gonna erase it is by selecting this linear parameter, going to my properties palette, and then go ahead and scroll down, and where it says show properties, I can simply say on the number of grips, I can simply say 0, and that way I will get rid of this grip point right here. All right, so those are some of the first steps that we need to do in order to start constraining and adding information to this slope block to make it dynamic, right? So that we can input a percentage slope and the block will adjust by itself. So once we did this, what we can do is open our parameters manager tab from the ribbon. So I can click on it, and here it is. Here is our parameter manager again, where we're going to start inputting some basic formula calculations to help us with the slope percentages. All right, so one of the first things that I like to do here is I'm gonna add a new parameter or user parameter. So I can add user parameters by clicking this icon that says create a new user parameter, and then I can name my new user parameter. In this case, it's gonna be a slope percentage. And of course, we cannot use special characters that the percentage character like this, because AutoCAD won't accept this. That's why I'm renaming it in the long way. All right, and then over here we can input a value if we want. So we can, again, this is a personal preference. Maybe you use a slope measurement often. In my case, I'm gonna use the 8.33 because that's a slope for a handicap ramp in architecture, but that's all up to you. This won't affect the final block. Next, what I like to do is test this block, right? But first, why are we adding this slope percentage right here, right? The reason why we're adding this is because we want to be able to input a number or a percentage, and the block will have to adjust based on this number. And in order to make this happen, we need to start adding a basic formula to the height of our block. And the way we're going to do it is by double clicking on the expression and remove this actual measurement. And here what we can say is we want the length, which is this number right here. We want the length to be multiplied with this character, of course, that means a multiplication. And then we want to multiply this length by the slope percentage. So that's what I'm gonna type. And I want also the slope percentage to be divided by 100. So that will give me the correct input for this specific height. All right. So once I do that, I can simply press enter. And then we can start testing this block to see how this block is behaving, because again, we don't want to keep adding parameters, actions, constraints, information, and then we realized the block is not working. Then we will need to um, go to each step and try to fix the problem. So that's where I'm going to stop right here and do a quick test. I'm going to close this um, parameters manager, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to the test block option from my ribbon. And then we're going to do a quick test, right? So let's see if I stretch this slope. All right, it looks like the constraints are working properly as the angle or slope is keeping consistent when stretching this block, and that's good. Now, the next thing we need to test is go to our properties, and over here, where the slope percentage parameter is, we can input or change a number. Let's say, for instance, we can say 16% and press enter. And great, our slope is adjusting properly. That means we're doing good so far, but we need more here, right? Because if we just give this block to a person, they won't be able to figure it out what's going on right here. Like, how would I know what slope is this ramp right now? There's no way. How would I know what the height of this ramp or length? We don't know that, right? So that's where let's go to the um, block editor again, and let's start adding some useful information right here. So the first information that I want to add is a height and length measurements, right? And the way I'm going to do it is using a simple dimension. So I'm going to use the dim command, and I'm going to go ahead and select this point all the way up to this point, like so. So I'm going to go and put my last point right about here. And then also I'm going to do the same. I'm going to add another dimension from this point to this other point, and I'm going to place it exactly around here, right? So 2 dimensions, they are very tiny right now. So let's fix those. I'm going to select both dimensions, go to my property palette, and I'm going to change the overall scale, right? So that dimension shows correctly. So right now it's 1. I'm going to change it to about 10. That's a personal preference again, but that's the size that I want for this block. Now, in reality, we don't need all of these extra lines for the dimensions and thicks and so on. So that's why we're gonna hide those from the properties again. If we go all the way up, we can see arrow 1 and 2. We can definitely set those to none, because in reality, we only need the measurement. We don't need any of these extra lines. We're also gonna do the same for the dim line 1 and 2. We're gonna set those to off, like so. And finally, there are some extra lines from this dimension, and we can turn those off from the extension line 1 and 2, like so. All right, great. So we have only the measurements that we need, and let's do a quick test now. So I'm gonna go to test this block, and let's see what we get. So if I stretch this, we can see the numbers are updating nicely. However, I see a couple of problems right here. The first problem that I see is the roundness of the dimension. You can see it's in a fraction, and that's not what I want. If you need an infraction, that's good for you. But in my particular case in architecture, I want to round these measurements. And the second problem is this uh, point or period over here from the dimension. It's looking funny, and that's not what we want. All right. So let's fix those two problems really quick. I'm gonna go back to the block editor, and the way I'm gonna fix it is first selecting my two dimensions, and from the properties I'm gonna find something that says round. So let's see, text dimensional. Where is it? There are so many options here for a dimension, but the one that we need is the dimension round off. So I'm gonna round it to 1 inch, and that will fix the problem number one. And then for the second problem, I'm gonna simply click this point and put it all the way down like so. And let's see if the other dimension have the same problem. Yes, so I'm gonna click that and move it down like so. All right. So to see if the problems were solved, let me do a quick test again. And if we stretch this now, you can see that my dimensions are nicely being rounded to the 1 inch, which is great. We can also see that the second problem from the weird dimension dot or point, it's also fixed. So we're in good shape. Now, what happened again with a user or a person that is using this block? How would they know what slope percentage is being used currently? There's no way right now to know that, right? So let's see how we can implement that information somehow here inside this block, so the person immediately knows that this slope is at certain percentage. All right. So let's do that. So let's go back to our block editor, and over here, what we can do is introduce an attribute. So the way I'm gonna add an attribute is by using the ATT shortcut. And the reason why we are introducing an attribute instead of a regular text is because attributes are smarter, right? We can add more functionality to attributes, and that's why they are very useful in dynamic blocks. So over here, what I can add for the tag is something like slope for reference only. Why? Because again, this attribute, I don't want the person to input numbers. I only want this as a reference so they know immediately what is the current slope, right? So I'm gonna copy and paste the same over here. And for the default value, this is very important, so pay attention here. What we need is a way to automatically adjust this value based on our slope, right, of our block. So the way we're going to do it is introducing a field expression that can be dynamically modified. So, and the field that I'm going to use is from the block placeholder option. Why? Because this option, block placeholder, is going to use the information from this current dynamic block. You can see the name is lazy slope. That's the name of our dynamic block. And you can see when I pick block placeholder, immediately AutoCAD recognize that this is the block that we want to get the information from. And the information that we need is the slope percentage, right? So over here, this is again a personal preference, but I'm gonna pick decimal, and I'm gonna pick my precision to two characters like this. And then I'm gonna click OK to accept that. And here for the size, we can change the text size later from our screen, so that's not a problem if we don't know right now the size. But for the justification, that's important because I want to place my attribute on this corner right here. And when I stretch this block, I want to keep my attribute right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say bottom right, because again, I'm going to place it right here on the bottom right. And I'm going to click OK. So I can now place my attribute in this corner like so, and you can see that the attribute is very tiny. That's not a problem. We can go ahead and change from the properties the height to about, let's say, 1 inch. That's fine. So it's match my dimensions, and I'm gonna move it about right here. All right. So you can see that this attribute is not really showing, a value that we want, but that's because we are still inside the block editor. So let's quickly test this block and let's see what we get. So as you can see, now the person knows that this slope or dynamic slope block has a percentage of 8.33%. Now if I change that value from our properties, let's say our ramp is 5%, I can say 5, and you can see the ramp immediately adjusts. And when I regenerate my drawing with RE, or you can even just leave it as that, but I'm going to regenerate, and you can see that 5% is now showing up correctly. Now, I still see a minor problem here. And the problem is that we don't have a percentage symbol here, right? This can be maybe just 5 feet, 5 inches, whatever. So we need a percentage symbol over here. And let's do that. So I'm going to close the block editor, and I'm going to double click on my attribute and simply input the percentage symbol right there. I'm going to click OK. So let's see. Here we go. That's the percentage already. And I'm gonna test my block, right? So now, since we already test most of these features, I'm gonna test it from model space. And this will be the final test. So I'm gonna close the block editor, and I'm gonna say save the changes. Be very careful here. We want to save the changes always, and then we will have our block right here. Now we have a small problem here where the attribute is not showing up. So the way we can fix this is using the ATT sync option to kind of sync our block, right? So I'm gonna select that, and with the select option I can select my block like so and say yes, and my block will, or my attribute will show as expected. Now I can go ahead and do a final test by selecting my block, and from my properties where it says slope percentage 833, again we can change this value to any value that we want. Maybe we can say 16%, and then when we regenerate our drawing, we will be able to see those inputs right there. Great, right? I use this slope block every time at the office where I work, and hopefully you can implement this in your work. Again, this is a dynamic slope that anyone can use to calculate any type of slope, right? If you're an electrician, you're an architect or an engineer, I'm sure you are using or calculating slopes, and this is a perfect way to automate your work. All right, so let me jump to the chat now, see what you think about this blog. Um, and maybe we can do a giveaway, right? We can do a giveaway of today's blog. So yeah, let me jump to the chat, see what you think. um, Maybe you have questions about today's blog. I believe this is an awesome blog that anyone can use. We can calculate roof slopes, handicap slopes. We can calculate all sort of things with this blog. And yeah, so let's see. Let me go to the chat now. Let's see. Jose is in the chat, says excellent. Architect says, yes, you are pronouncing my name excellent. You are one person in 5% who properly pronouncing my name correctly. Hey, really? It's a little hard because English is now my first language, right? And Spanish is my first language because I'm originally from Peru in South America. But that's great that I'm pronouncing your name right. Otherwise, 95% people pronounce it an incorrect name of mine. Oh, great. Sadik. Felicia Hernandez says, good morning, lazy arquitecto. Bien con tus proyectos. Y muchos saludos para tus seguidores de tu canal. Bendiciones. Hola Felicia, gracias por siempre estar con nosotros y muy feliz de tenerte. Espero que estés bien. Let's see. We have 10 people connected live. That's great, guys. Jose says, these videos are excellent for me. I learned English and AutoCAD. Thanks. Wow, yeah, that's great, Jose. You're killing two birds with one stone. That's great. That's what we like to do here in the channel, right? Also, so that's a technique that we implement. So, for instance, we created a video on how we can use dynamic blocks to tackle two different drawings. Right? For instance, I had this architecture project where I had more than 100 doors, right? And then I had to create a ceiling plan and draw door headers for these 100 doors. Do you think I did draw these door headers one by one? No way. So we use our technique, which we call 2 by 1, and then we basically add a header to one of these door blocks, and then we copy these 100 doors, paste it into our ceiling plan, change one option from the properties, and boom, all of our door headers were drawn immediately. So you remind me to that video, Jose, because you're learning two things at the same time. Architect Sadiq says, happy faces. All right, guys. So let's see how we can do a giveaway here, right? Because you guys stay with me the entire presentation, and I think it's fair to it's fair to give away this dynamic block that we created today, right? So let's see how we can do that. Do you guys want a giveaway? Yes, no, put it in the chat. Well, I'll figure it out how to do it. Jose, Sadiq, do you guys want to, let's see, maybe we can give away not only this blog but any of our blogs. Let's see. Products. Let's see. How do we do this? Okay, I guess I. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I know how to do it. Okay, we're gonna do it from our website. Oops, what's going on? Okay, I'm gonna go to blogs. All right. So we're gonna have a giveaway, guys, today before we wrap up today's presentation. I hope you learned something awesome today. Um, so we're gonna give away today's blog or any of our dynamic blogs that we have created on the channel. All right. Um, so so you can pick one again. We have so many here: doors, windows, um, lighting blocks, title blocks, wall tags, sinks, all type of dynamic blocks that we have created, right? So pick one, because we're gonna give away one of these dynamic blocks today for free, right? But while you see how you can participate, we have Armando on the chat says, "Hi, big boss." Hi, Armando. Armando, are you the same Armando that just became a patron, also a patron member? I don't know. I'm getting confused, maybe. But if you are, then thank you, Armando, for supporting our work. So let me know if you are the one that just became a patron, Armando. Hope you're doing great, Armando. Let's see. See, I'm trying to figure it out how we can do a giveaway. Because we are live, right? We are doing all of this live. That's the beauty. Armando says, "Yeah, I'm the same." Hey, Armando, I'm glad that you became a Patreon. And then now you are also live today with us. So you are taking all of the benefits, right? We have live streams, we have quizzes, we have so many content that you can. Maybe I can share that. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that's a good idea, Armando. So I'm gonna share something over here on my screen. Can you see this? Yeah. So, for people who are new to the Lazy Arquitecto, right? So you can, this is the weekly content schedule from our channel. You can see that we work every day. So in reality, we're not lazy, right? But anyway, so you can see Mondays we do have email, and then you can also this, of course, you can have this information from our channel, and then if you go to community, it's this is free for everyone, so you can go to community, and then you'll be able to access our post. But anyway, the email is basically on Mondays I send out this productivity trick into your inbox, and that's what we do on Mondays. Tuesdays to Thursdays, we do shorts, which are, 1 minute quick tip videos. And you can find it also from our shorts tab, which is right here, shorts. Um, Next, we have quizzes. That's another thing that you guys are enjoying, because I see hundreds of people taking the quiz. We do that on Friday, and you can access it from the community tab. So it's right here, also community. And if you scroll down, you can see all of the quizzes that we did, right? Which again, I think you find this fun, right? Let's see. And then we do Saturdays, full videos, right? Full tutorials. Those are at 10 a.m. On Sundays, we do our live streams like the one that we're doing today, where you can have that direct interaction, right? So, yeah, you can check that schedule, Armando. And thank you again for supporting our work. Armando says, thank you so much, man. Let's see if I. Let's see. Sadiq says, please start another attribute tutorial, I believe. Sure, we can do another attribute video or tutorial, my friend Sadiq. If you can give us maybe specific things that you would like to see on this attribute tutorial, that would be even better, right? Sadiq says tips and tricks. Oh, okay. You're asking for attributes, tips and tricks. Maybe we do have that already. Let's see, because we have so many videos, guys. 634 videos. So you can imagine I already lost count of all of the videos that we have. But maybe let's see what we have for attributes. So Sadiq, I don't know if you watched this video already, the best practices for creating attribute blocks. If you did, then you can, let's see, here's another attribute tip: to select attribute by content or value, which is again it's not common, right? It's not easy to do in AutoCAD, to select attributes by content. Let's see what we have. Blocks. You can also learn how to combine attributes and fields in a block, which is again an advanced technique. Yeah, but maybe I can do a specific attributes, tips and tricks. Yeah, that's a great idea, Sadiq. Thank you for that. Let's see. Let's see. Armando says, thank you so much, man. Sadiq says, yes, my name is Sadiq, which you are pronouncing it correctly. Architect is my profession, and Chaudhary is my surname. I'm from India. Love a lot from India. Hey, nice that you are from India, my friend. Nice to have more folks from India following our tutorials, our channel. And you are also an architect. That's great, because I'm also in the architecture field. So yeah, thank you, Sadiq. Let's see, we have that data. Hey, that data, how are you? Says make a top 10 or compilation. Are you referring to any specific? Can you be more specific? That data, top 10 of what? Of blogs, attribute. I mean, macros, tips and tricks. What are you referring to, my friend? That data? Dark dark magician is on the chat. I think you are new, right? Because I don't remember you. But if you're new, that's great. That simply means either YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn is recommending our live streams to more folks, which I'm very happy for that, right? If you can give us your real name, that would be awesome. Dark magician, so I can better refer to you, right? It says new subscriber here. I'm a civil engineer. Whoa, then that means today's dynamic block is gonna be helpful to you, my friend, because I know as an engineer you're always using or calculating slopes, and with this dynamic block you will be able to quickly input any slope percentage that you need, right? And you will be able to have those numbers as you wish, right? So yeah, let's see what we have. Data says top 10 everything, top 10 trick and tip. Data, I think we already did that, my friend. So let's see if I can show it to you. Where is it? Where is the one? We already have that, my friend. Let's see. So you're asking for top 10 everything. So here we go. These are the top 10 AutoCAD settings that you have to change that data. And those are very important, and people are also enjoying it. You can see almost 6,000 views. That's a lot for an AutoCAD tutorial. We have 10 AutoCAD tips and tricks you have to try. Here we go, more than 12,000 views. That also means that people are finding this tutorial helpful. So, uh, 10 AutoCAD commands that automate your drafting work. Here we go, that data. We have so many top 10s. I don't know if you watch them, but you should, my friend. If you are using AutoCAD to work, you don't want to waste your time, right? You want to be productive. You want to enjoy your work, right? That's why if you're feeling stressed in your work using AutoCAD, that simply means you're doing something wrong, my friend. Hopefully, those are helpful videos. Uh, that data says top 10 block. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Is that your real name, that data? I don't know if that's your real name. Um, but anyway, you said top 10 blocks. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I could do top best dynamic blocks that you should be using in AutoCAD, something like that. Yeah, I don't have a video like that, so thank you for the idea. Yeah, I'll do that and definitely include our new blog from today, because I use this blog every time at the office, to again calculate my roof slopes, my handicap ramp slopes, and so on. But yeah, thank you. That data says I will join your membership soon. Hey, I'm glad that you are considering joining or supporting our work, right? That's awesome. And in exchange, you have many benefits. I think I already explained it to you. You can get access to our files, to our blogs, macro commands, anything, materials. Sometimes we create PDFs, right? For instance, last week on Sunday, we shared also a PDF. Let's see. from our last video. Can I see our last video? Oh, here are videos. Let's see. So we show you last week um, how to learn AutoCAD macros as a total beginner, and we shared a file here, a PDF file that you can access to again follow up with or follow along with the macros process, and so you can quickly understand. I think this is very important if you want to automate your work, right? We created a macro example, and we did all of this so you can understand how are we utilizing macros, right? So yeah, hopefully this PDF, it took me some time to put this together, so but I think it was worth it because um, there were people already like Armando, I believe. Armando says thank you very much. So yeah, I'm glad that I spent some time, but you were able um, to use those files to you know um, follow along better with the tutorials. Probably gonna start doing more of those PDF files. But yeah, let's see. So Dick says, first chat of mine is not clear till now. Can you please resolve this issue? Over hatch or over wipeout text is not visible. So Dick, you know what? What I can recommend is um, if you can email me your specific problem with your drawing, with your hatch, with your text, everything ready for me, right? So to open it, take a look, figure it out, and maybe even do an entire live stream answering you, right? So for people who don't know, we have a series that we do where we help folks with their problems. And we have helped, I think, 10 or more already folks. What is it? It's called the Lazy Questions show. And this is, again, a way to help you. And we have helped so many folks already. And we are planning to keep helping you. But again, if you share your drawing, anything that you can help me with to understand your problem and quickly resolve it would be awesome. My friend Sadiq. So yeah, let's see. That data says thank you, God bless you. Yeah, that data, I'm happy to help. Um, Dark Magician says my real name is Teng Sai from PH. PH means Philippines or what's PH? Teng. I think I can call you Teng then. All right, nice Teng. Thank you for sharing your name. So I'm gonna try to remember it, right? So Teng, Teng, Teng. Sadiq says, when I click on a text is not visible, and after making PDF, text is visible, but not. Yeah, Sadiq, I think I already answered this. Please send me an email with your drawing, your everything, and then I'll be able to help you more efficiently, right? Because from here, it's hard for me to kind of imagine what your drawing have and all of that. So Dick says text color is different from hatch color. Yeah, so my first idea is that it might be a glitch. Sadiq, with your drawing, sometimes AutoCAD have these weird glitches where if you close AutoCAD and reopen it, then your text and hatch might look fine. Yeah, I had these glitches before. But if you think it's not a glitch, please send me your drawing as I was suggesting that Data says that is my nickname. Data is acronym of my whole name. Oh, great! I can call you Data then. Data. Data is sounds nice. Okay. Jay says, can you make some videos of about geometric constraints? Yes, we can do that, Jay. I think you're also new to the live streams. Welcome aboard, Jay. We did already today's. We created a video about using constraints, my friend Jay. We created this blog today, and we use automatic constraints. Uh, let's see, but definitely we can do that an entire video or a live stream about geometric constraints. Um, let's see, our friend Sadiq says, please share your mail ID. Thank you. Oh, you mean my email, right? Uh, so let's see. So, um, so to access, I think you're referring to our email, right? That we do on Mondays. That's the only thing we do on Mondays. We send you a trick, an AutoCAD trick, right into your email inbox. And you can see how you can go again. This is free on the community tab. You can go under emails. And you can sign up here to our newsletter. And once you do that, uh, wait. Our free newsletter. Oops. I think the link is broken. All right. I'm going to fix that for you guys. I'm going to fix this link. But that's how you access our email and how you sign up, my friend Sadiq. Armando says, hey man, do you recommend to people who wants to certify in AutoCAD designer from Autodesk? I know that the exam change and I imagine that is harder. Um, First of all, Armando, before I answer your question, I want to tell you that we did two videos about AutoCAD certification already. And if you were thinking to take those exams, you should definitely watch this. So let me see if I can find it. Here we go. So this is the first one. So this is where I share my experience after passing the AutoCAD exam and get my certification. And then this is a follow-up video that I did answering questions from this previous video. So I had so many questions from this video, right? Because people were really interested. You can see almost 300 comments. People asking so many questions. And although I answer them here on the comments, there were also some really good questions, right? That I thought, hey, why not do a follow-up video? And that's why I did this part two video where I answered all of your questions again. So yeah, so that's the first thing I wanted to mention for you, Armando, and for any people that are thinking on getting certified in AutoCAD. Um, and and then you're asking, hey man, do you recommend people wants to certify? How did that exam change? I don't know if that exam has changed or not, Armando, but I took the exam from home, right? My AutoCAD exam, I took it from home. Again, on the video, I shared all of my experience, so you can watch that later. But you're asking do you recommend to the people who wants to certify an AutoCAD designer from Autodesk? Yes, definitely. I mean, Autodesk is the owner of AutoCAD, right? Why would you want to pass an exam that is from a different company? It doesn't make sense, right? You want to take the true AutoCAD Autodesk exam. So hopefully that answer your question, my friend. Armando says, "Hey, yeah, I watched them, but the Autodesk changed the exam this year." Oh, really? So I didn't know that. Let me do my research, Armando, and get back to you because that's very interesting. If they change something, I need to know that, right? So I can better inform you guys and maybe do an updated video about certifications because I know people are very interested in that subject. But thank you, Armando, for letting me know that. Uh, Teng, that's your name, right? Teng. Teng says, "Is there an online exam available for the AutoCAD certification?" Mm, yes. The exam you can take it online. Yes, from home. That's what I did. And again, on those two videos that I just show you, you can go ahead and know all of the details, my friend Teng. All right, so I guess we're gonna stop right here. And for the giveaway, for people who is interested on this the blog that we created today or any of our dynamic blogs, we have, I don't know, more than 30, 40. um, let's see how you can just answer. Very easy, an easy question. All right, I'm gonna so put it on the chat. It's very easy, but the first person who answer this question correctly is gonna be able to win a dynamic block. All right. So the question is, um, what's my profession or what's my field? What's my professional field? Very easy. Again, so put it on the chat. The first person who answer it correctly is gonna win today's dynamic blog or any of my dynamic blogs. You can pick one. Just again, answer on the chat what is my professional field, right? Am I an electrician? Am I whatever? So it's but that's the question. Very easy because again, this giveaway is not a way for me to test you, but to give my blogs for free, right? For people who maybe they cannot afford to support our work, right? Either as a Patreon member or as a YouTube member. Maybe, there are folks that cannot afford that. And I understand that. That's what I like to do is giveaways. Anyway, uh, let's see. Let's wrap up today's presentation with this giveaway. Let's see. Xiomara says architect. Dark magician or Teng says architect. Armando says architect. And that is right. But Xiomara was the one who answered it first. So Xiomara, you are the winner. Thank you for participating, guys. And we're gonna do these giveaways more often. But yeah, Xiomara, um, yes, I'm into the architectural field and I'm currently trying to get my license as an architect, right? That's my goal also. And I'm almost right there. But I'm not a licensed architect yet, but my field is, of course, architecture. So, Xiomara, uh, congratulations. And yeah, so I'll email you, Xiomara, if you can. I think I already have your information because um, you already participated before, so I have your information. Armando, I think you are on an email list already, Xiomara, which is great. For people who don't know, Our email is the way we communicate with the community, right? Let's say I'm gonna be let's say I'm gonna do a live stream not on Saturdays or Sundays for any personal reason. That's where I'll write an email and just send it to all of you at once, and that way I can update you. Xiomara, thank you. And Armando says, yeah, congratulations, Xiomara. Armando, where are you from? Just for curiosity, I'm from Peru in South America, by the way. Um, all right, guys. So I'm gonna stop right here, and I'm gonna go and get my breakfast because I'm so hungry. And have a wonderful day, my friend. Thank you for being here with me today. Hopefully, I can see you next Sunday, and see you later, my friend.